You know, it's easy to become financially free from real estate if you give yourself 30 or 40 years. That's some people's game plan. I looked at that and I said, that's not for me. I want to do it in less time. It took me, honestly, 4.5 years. I retired at the age of 26. Today I thought, you know what? There's some ambitious person out there, and it might be you saying, you know what, Kris, could I even do it faster than you? Man, if I had the time machine and show myself how to do it in 3 years instead of 4.5, that's the blueprint I'm giving you today.
One shot, not a future for sure. Let's go. I'm turning dreams into reality. Yeah, it's one shot, not a future for sure. Let's go.
What inspires people to get in the game of real estate in the first place? Listen, if you haven't caught the real estate bug, eventually you're gonna meet someone. It could happen right now. You might even subscribe to this channel because you catch the bug. It's where you hear of a dude that bought a house that took him a handful of hours, sold it, and made over $50,000. And the light bulb goes on. Wait a second. If I just did that enough times, I wouldn't need a job anymore and I could become financially free. Well, that's what happened to me. That's what helped me retire at the age of 26. It took me 4.5 years from the moment I got hit by that bug to actually have my 25th home producing $12,000 a month. And I've thought back over the years, I wonder if I went back in time if I could do it faster. And so today I am going to give you the blueprint. I want to show you how to do it in 3 short years. Truth is, if you do it the right way, real estate is a fantastic way to accelerate retirement. Most people will do it naturally over 30 or 40 years. They buy a handful of homes, you wait 30 years, and then boom, instant millionaire. Some people say though, I can be more intentional and I can do it quicker. And recently, Bigger Pockets, one of my favorite real estate syndicates, came out with this article and they said, hey, how would you actually retire in 3 years with real estate? And I think that the information is noteworthy. Check it out. First of all, they said retirement, what it's not. It's not buying a yacht, drinking Crystal, swimming in cash, although I do like Scrooge McDuck from when I was a kid. Retirement, it's able to pay your bills with passive income, meaning I don't have to work, but all the money flows in and all my bills get paid. Bigger Pockets went on to suggest, hey, you know what, the average American makes $40,000, $50,000 a year. Let's just say for a moment that you had $54,000 a year of lifestyle. That's what it cost for you to drive your car, live in your house, or rent your apartment, or eat the kind of foods that you like to eat, or do the kind of travel and excursions you like. And if you needed $54,000 a year, ultimately, you would need to find a way to get your real estate to produce $4,500 a month. Because in principle, if you had $4,500 coming in every month, you wouldn't need to work anymore and you could kiss that job goodbye.
Can I kiss you?
Sure.
If you need more than that, by the way, it's okay. You can adjust the numbers based on your own appetites or maybe the lifestyle that you want to design your ultimate life around. There is one caveat. This only works if you know how to purchase positive cash flowing real estate. And what that means is that when you buy a home, you get a mortgage. You owe money every month to the bank. But if you rent it out and your tenants pay you actually more money than all your expenses, then you actually produce what's called a positive cash flow. This is the cool thing that really attracted me to the game of real estate. And here's what they recommend. Let's just say after you cover all your expenses that you have an extra $100 to $200 a month per unit that's positive. Well, now you're in a positive cash flow piece of real estate. So in this example, we're gonna run with $150 a month and find out what it would take in your personal game plan to retire in 3 years. Let's run the numbers, shall we? You take your calculator and you say, if I'm making $150 positive cash flow on every property or every door that I'm renting, but I need $4,500 a month, it's a story problem. How many homes or doors do I need to get there? And the answer is 30. You need 30 units to hit your goal of $54,000 a year. All right, well, if you've got 3 years to do it, then how would you do that? And Bigger Pockets suggests that what you really need is a game plan. Because you might be thinking, Kris, I could get a 30-unit apartment complex, like all those doors in one big building, or I could get 30 single-family homes, or I could get 10 units a year for 3 years. Well, those are all really just examples, but here's what the game plan really looks like. You're a newbie or a noob. Noob. Your first year. So if in your first year you get 5 units, that's 5 towards your 30. After that first year, you're warming up, you're feeling good, you're getting some confidence. So in the second year, you double it. You get 10 more units. In the third year, all you would need is 15 more units, and you add up 5 units in year 1, 10 units in the second year, 15 units in the third year, and guess what? You get yourself to 30 doors, and if they're each paying $150 a month positive cash flow, you've got $54,000 a year coming in. It's covering all your expenses, and you can say goodbye to that job. Now, there's a lot of different ways of getting there, and some of those ways are easier than others. Let me share with you what they suggested. If you're doing small multifamily properties, these are the easiest things for you to qualify for. It's not like buying a commercial piece of property. It's not like an apartment complex. We're either talking about a single family home, or look at this. This is a fourplex. Fourplex is 4 doors, and I'm earning 150 here on the building, 150 more on the same building. This family's renting out this door for 150, and I have a 4th family in there, and they're paying me that extra 150 a month. So this particular example has an extra $600 a month. However, you could do a triplex. This is a building with 3 doors. And the cool thing is when you go to the bank, whether you say I want one home, like a single family home, or a fourplex or a triplex, it's the same basic type of lending to qualify for any one of those. So you find a triplex and here's 150, 150, 150. I buy this, there's $450 a month left over. That gets me a 1/10 of the way to my goal. Or I could do a duplex, right? I could make 150 here, I could make 150 there, and ultimately this property has $300 extra a month. You know, it's a little ironic. I was making about $50,000 a year when my wife and I had the goal of $10,000 a month. Like, that's what it would take for me to quit my job and honestly become free. And don't get me wrong, the money's great. I love the lifestyle it affords, but nothing compares where I don't have anyone breathing over my neck, like this monkey on my back, or sometimes it feels like a gorilla, an 800-pound gorilla that is breathing down saying, it's 9 a.m, you've got to be at your job, and then you have to be there for 8 hours, and this is your life, and we're gonna take the best hours of your life 6 days a week, and we're gonna suck all of the life out of you. You might find yourself thinking, is there a faster way? I mean, I'm gonna level with you. $150 of positive cash flow on a property is pretty low standards. If you could literally buy properties more successfully with more cash flow, it would take fewer deals, probably less time, you could get there faster. You wanna know a faster blueprint to $54,000 a year without needing to buy 30 units? You've heard of NASCAR fast. Not gonna lie, I like driving fast, but in real estate, we call it Kris Krohn fast. I'm gonna show you right now how to go 3 times faster. Secret? You just need to buy a property with 3 times the cash flow. Check it out. If I make $500 on a house, not 150, I only need 9 to get to the same 4,500 a year. Literally, I'm buying 1/3 of the number of houses to achieve the same goal. So for me, it's not just enough to say, yeah, I bought a property, I make a little bit a month on it. I wanna buy like a cash cow. Cash cow means this thing puts off a lot of dough. Well, I'm gonna do you one better. I'm actually gonna share 2 of my favorite strategies for going faster. One is a hands-on approach, one is a hands-off approach. Let's talk about rent to own. You might have heard of it, right? It's a lease option. It's leasing a property, but giving that tenant an option to actually buy the home. It's something that isn't out there. Most people don't know it exists, which means it's super popular when you do one of these deals. You see, most people, they buy a house and then they just rent it out. And that's how you get your $150, $200 a month. But if you create more value, you're gonna be financially rewarded for that. Instead of a tenant, I actually say this is a rent to own. I'm looking for a family to come into this house and in 2 or 3 years buy it from me. And in fact, get a discount on it, get a good deal on it. A family says, check it out, we actually wanna buy, but I had a credit glitch, or maybe we might be moving, or I've got a story for maybe why I'm nervous to go into a bank. I'd like to be able to buy this home in the future, but for reasons that I may or may not know, we're happy doing this thing called rent to own. That's way better than renting and throwing our money away. So ultimately, when you find this house, you're not just putting a tenant in there. I'm looking for a family that wants to buy it down the road. They're gonna give me a down payment, usually on average, $5,000. Then I'm gonna get on average a $500 a month cash flow. And then when I sell it, if I bought it right, I'm making tens of thousands of dollars. This is one of my favorite strategies for hitting what I call cash cow status when I buy a property. And trust me, for every person that wants to be hands-on, that wants to drive to Home Depot, that wants to meet tenants, that wants to play the landlord game, you're always gonna find the other people that are like, hey, I want my money to work for me, but I don't want to work for it. I need this thing to be way more hands-off. I want it to be way more passive. And I do that with a partnering strategy. Right now, there are people out there in the world that are expert investors, and they're finding killer deals, and they have experience. They'll do all the heavy lifting. But you know what they're short on? Cash. They always have more deals than money. And so they're looking for people that have been saving money in a 401k or an IRA that are just waiting, saying, hey, if you can take your money and pair it with someone who's super knowledgeable, super experienced, has a great track record, man, that can be a match made in heaven for someone that really wants to be hands off. On the other hand, you might not have loads of money saved up in some retirement account, 401k under the mattress, and you might be thinking, you know what, let's reverse it. Kris, can I go out there and get so good at the game of real estate and finding good deals that other people can pair their money with me, and that's how I can make deals happen? Yes, in 3 years, you can buy a lot of real estate when you're not prohibited by your own funds. Here's the way it ultimately works though. You've got the active partner, that's the person that's doing all of the work. I'm finding the deal, I'm hustling the work out, I'm putting a tenant or a lease option person in the home, I'm managing it, I'm babysitting this thing, and they're gonna get some ownership. Often it's 50%. And they're partnering up with someone that has the money. I call them funding partners. They're saying, hey, I got the money, but I really want to be hands off in the game. Match made in heaven, because their job is to supply the cash, but also to make strategic decisions on buying and selling, but they're not in the day-to-day. They're out of the weeds, and that creates relief for them because usually they like their career, they're up to big things, and they want to make the money in real estate. They just don't really have the time for it. Ultimately, what you need to understand is that for you to hit a certain amount of money, you just need to do a certain number of deals. And I hope today really created greater clarity for you and really understanding what that means and what that looks like. I was 25 deals away from $12,000 a month. And once I hit that 25th deal, I was done. I was out of the rat race. I was a free man. That was years ago, and I've been enjoying my financial freedom ever since. Truth is though, if I had to go back and do it all over again, I could do that in a matter of months versus years. But that's because I've had mentors along the way that have shown me how to do that. Right now, you've got to ask, all right, Kris, if I want to do this in 3 years, or slow it down, maybe you want to do it in 5 years or 10 years, there's one of two things that you're going to need to make that happen. You know, when you start thinking about it, it can get a little bit overwhelming. Oh my gosh, where am I going to get the money? Where am I going to get a coach or a mentor? Is there a book that I should read? Well, listen, chill out.
All right, everyone, chill.
What you really need is someone that can offer you a healthy dose of perspective, because the only reason why I became financially free the way I did is because I had mentors along the way. Literally men and women that coached me through the process. They showed me how to do it, and I got there as fast as I did because I wasn't alone. I had a cheerleader, and then ultimately it turned into a team. And the reality is there's instant team potentially available to you right now. If you click the link below, I'm offering a free game plan today. You could talk to a member of my team at no cost that literally will show you in any period of time you want, step by step, what you need to do to get where you want to go. And in the end, if you need more money, or if you need to move money out of a 401k, or if you just need a mentor to show you how, or hey, Kris, where's the good deals? Those are resources that I provide for you. Click the link below, get a free game plan, and we'll show you how to get started. You see this chair? It's like a really big hand grabbing my butt. That's really weird. But honestly, if you want to see my personal journey of how I got my first 25 homes, I took my CEO one day in a limo and we drove around, I showed him my homes. Click this video and let me show you I got you. Did you like that? I just said, I got you.
That's good. You got it. You got to keep that.
I got you.
Love that stuff.
Okay.